Ignore Wheeljack. Alright guys, after all this time, finally got my hands on these little dudes, these little swapticons. Which, I mean, shit, I can't even lie. I don't know what they were thinking up in corporate, but swapticons is kind of a crazy name. Like that kind of sounds like a certain symbol. I don't know what they were thinking, but you know, that's besides the point. Alright, that's besides the point. These guys are actually pretty cool. And I know what you guys are thinking. Alright, I'm missing the Hot Rod and Bumblebee, but if I'm being honest, I did not feel like buying that. Not that it looked bad, but it didn't look the best. I'll probably end up getting it later on, because you know, once you get some of them, you gotta get all of them. That's just how Transformer collecting works, okay? You know, if you collect Transformers, you get it. I'm probably gonna end up getting it at some point. I'll maybe make a whole separate video on that, but as of right now, we got Optimus and Magnus, we got Cheetor and Tigatron, and then we got Megatron and Shocker. Low-key, pretty fire lineup if I do say so myself. I can't even lie. I kind of threw away the boxes, so if y'all actually want to see that, I'll put a pic up like right now. Alright, so yeah, that's what the packaging looks like. Yeah, I was kind of excited to open them up because I've been waiting to get them for a while, and I kind of just tore into the boxes, and they were too broken to even record. It wasn't worth it. But Coronation Starscream box, that's something. Alright, so first up, we're gonna go with probably my favorite one. We're gonna look at Optimus and Ultra Magnus, because low-key they kind of look fire. I guess we'll just cover the alt mode first, which honestly, I'm really digging this alt mode. I can't even lie. You know, if I'm just being honest, the colors, they might not look as good on camera, but they look really nice in person. Like this red is just a perfect red for Optimus, and then also with this blue, it just accents really nicely. And I mean, I can't really complain. Just a little Optimus with a trailer, pretty nice. And the double smokestack reminds me a lot of Armada Optimus, which, I mean, that's personally, that's one of my favorite Optimus designs. But you know, got little headlights, got the little stripe. I wish the back wasn't just as plain, but I mean, it gets the job done. It looks nice. But overall, this is probably my favorite out of all of them, out of all the alt modes. In case you don't already know, the whole gimmick with these guys is, you know, they're two separate Transformers that connect into one to make one alt mode. Which, I mean, I do like the idea, and I do think the execution is pretty good. I think it could have been better. But basically, what you do, just twist, and then you could bring their arms out. Right here we got Ultra Magnus, which I really like the sculpting for the body and legs. Which, I mean, the legs don't move, and you do get a little bit of articulation on the arms. Not much. Like, these guys obviously aren't meant to be posed. You know, they're not really showpieces. They're more just sort of like a gimmicky toy that's, you know, just kind of fun to mess around with. The face print, it's not a print, it's a sticker, which I'm a little worried that it might start to peel, but hopefully that doesn't happen. Now for Optimus, I like his face expression. It's very goofy. He doesn't look very serious, which is like, Optimus usually looks very serious. Like, you know, the art style is pretty nice with this. It switches it up a little bit. And he also gets a little bit of articulation. He could, you know, say yay, basically, is all he could do. Very goofy guy. I do really like this silver. The silver looks really nice on him. Like, I can't even lie. And, I mean, he does look, both of them look very fat from the side. But, you know, if you just look at them from the front, they look pretty decent. I don't like the arms on Optimus. But I do like that they took the time to put little fingers on both of them, if you could see that. I do like that. Nice little detail. Alright, next up we're gonna do the freaking cat. Yeah. It's an interesting choice. It's a very sort of fat looking cat. The blue looks weird. I wish they could have just made it all gold or tan or whatever. But I mean, it doesn't look bad. I guess the blue breaks it up a little bit. Nice little accent, I suppose. The gold, they already had the gold accent, so I don't really know why they did the blue. But he's interesting. I don't think this concept really works well with the animal characters, like, you know, the Maximals and everything, or even the Predacons. I don't see that working with these. It's just kind of awkward, like, which I already know the idea of an animal transforming into a giant robot is already awkward. But this is just like, it doesn't work, like, because of how it works. You know, you got these little feet in the front. It just kind of looks ugly. Just like, it looks long. It looks too long for a cat. But it doesn't, like, the proportions are just so off. It's so weird. But anyways, you know, he's just like a little jaguar house cat sort of thing, I think. It looks more like just like a house cat. But anyways, for this guy, you know, transformation is the same on all of them. This right here, we got Cheetor. He makes me uncomfortable. I like the gold, but that's all I gotta say for him. He's kind of, you know, he's just sort of here. He looks alright. He looks like Cheetor. You could tell it's Cheetor. I do like the Cheetor face, but yeah, he's just unnerving. Unnerving. Oh, sorry. Ignore that. I'm gonna flip that out. Anyways, here's Tigertron. You do gotta slide his legs up like this, and oops, this comes out. It's like a rubbery material, which I don't really like. He always falls out, and then you gotta, you know, rotate this back. So he gets a tail, which is cool. This guy just has ears sticking out his butt, which for stability, which I like, but it looks terrible. But anyways, I really like this guy's face print. Like, they really cooked with Tigertron compared to Cheetor. Cheetor just kind of looks gross. Tigertron looks good. He looks so goofy. He looks so cherry. And the blue, I know I was hitting on the blue before, but at least in robot mode, the blue looks really nice as an accent. And overall, I don't know, I just really like this one. Alright, last but not least, we got the Decepticons. The only Decepticons in the whole first wave, if we're not counting that jungle pack. But, you know, for the sake of this video, we're gonna pretend that doesn't exist. Just like what I do with homework. But okay. Back to Transformers. This guy, I really dig his alt mode. Like, this tank look, it just works so well, especially since you know, Megatron and Shockwave both turn into tanks. Which, here, let me... Okay. Oops. Yeah, Shockwave turns into a tank. I don't have a good tank Megatron right now on me. I hand, but yeah, tank Shockwave, pretty sick. Wait, I did not realize 2 Bumblebee movie, boys. One did. Okay, crazy. Anyways, we don't need him anymore. Okay, back to Megatron and Shockwave. So, the treads on these, I really like I just really like this look. It reminds me of something that would be in Star Wars, almost like a troop transport or something like that, if you know what I mean. And this cool windshield, oh, it just looks so good with the pink. But anyways, do a transformation, you know, we already know what that's like. Here we go, Megatron. He's very, oh yeah, arms. Of course, we gotta put the arms out. Megatron, very silver. I love it. Like, I don't know if you could see on camera. It's very reflective. But that silver just looks beautiful. And, you know, little Decepticon symbol, of course. And For some reason on mine, here, let's see if I can get it to do it. It's not doing it now. The head likes to get stuck in mine, which I know it looks like I'm forcing it here, which is low-key embarrassing. It's been, I'll put a picture. I'll put a picture. But yeah, of course the one time I record it, it's not gonna get stuck. But the head gets stuck, which if it does, I just push it down and it goes back. It comes back up. So not the biggest problem, but still an issue. I think I should, just talk about it a little bit. Shockwave, he's skinny for some reason. He gets skinny he has skinny legs. The pink, love the pink, looks nice. The head, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. Like, nothing against it, just like, no, actually everything against it is terrible. Why is Soundwave's head round? It shouldn't just know you. But I guess it works. You could tell who it is. And one last thing about these guys, he likes to fall over. Because look, he has that. He likes to fall over. So what I did is, this gun technically goes to Shockwave. But if you put it on Megatron, you could use that to help him stand up. So pretty useful, and then he just gets the Megatron gun. Everyone I've seen has had that issue, but it's a simple fix. I think it's at least worth trying. Oh yeah, real quick, I just realized, these guys about to have the perfect dap, bro. Just look at that. Look at this hand movement right here. Oh shit. Pop. Yo, look how crisp that is. Imagine the clap on that. Bro, Megatron and Shockwave, they're homies for real. They're homies. Anyways, moving on. The big main gimmick with these guys, they're called SWAPTICONs. You're supposed to be able to take them, swap them back and forth. Very simple, very self-explanatory. So, some of them look better than, let me get Shockwave in frame. I don't know what he's, there we go, now we're chilling. Some of them just look better than others, I can't lie. Some of them just look horrendous. But anyways, for example, just take Optimus. Rotate his arms down. And then if we were to take Shockwave, close that up. And then here, I'll show you how these work. You see on their heads, how they have these notches? You gotta line those up just like that. And then rotate this. Then it just clicks. I really like this look. I really like the way Optimus looks with then, a sort of tank trailer and the treads in the back. It just looks cool. Can't lie. Simply said, it just looks cool. That's one of my favorite things to do with Optimus, at least. The other ones don't really. That's really the only notable one, but we'll have some fun with it. I think it looks pretty decent if we were to take these two and put them together. It doesn't, I can't lie, it doesn't really look the best. It kind of looks bad. But, that's okay. The other cool thing with these, if you really wanted to, you could take two back halves and put them together. Just like that. I don't know why you would do that, but you can, this system is, it's very gives you a lot of creative liberty. You could do, obviously there's some limitations, but you could just do whatever. If you want to, you could even put two fronts together, which probably looks better than two backs. But this is another complaint I have with the animal ones, just like how in the jungle pack, which I'll put a pic of it. It just doesn't make sense. Why would I want to have, unless if it's like one of those little disabled dogs or whatever that have wheels, which they're cute, I can't lie. But why would I want to have a half animal, half car like this? Why would I want that? I guess it's cool and goofy, but logically, I think it would have been better if they just stuck to vehicles. That's my main complaint. I do appreciate that they, gave some Beast Wars characters some love. I do like that. But in the long run, I think if this became a whole line, I think it would be best to stick to vehicles. My idiot did it. Look, his head got stuck. Once I finished that clip, it just got stuck. But look, just push it back up and it comes out. Not a big issue, but hopefully that's not like a mass production thing where, you know, they all end up getting that issue. Hopefully it's just like one in every few have that, because that would really suck if they all ended up getting stuck. All right. Honestly, overall, I would recommend to pick at least some of these guys up. They're, you know, just fun little fidget toys. You know, I mean, obviously, if you're a big collector, you might want to get your hands on these. But also at the same time, though, it's like they're clearly aimed more towards kids. They're not supposed to be a collector's item. They're just sort of like a fun little toy. Which brings me to how they remind me a lot of bot shots. If any of you guys remember those. If low-key you new gens, then y'all might not know about bot shots, bro. Bot shots low-key peak. I can't even lie. Bot shots were amazing, bro. Yo. Actually, I think they kind of brought them back. Well, at least they had like that little Transformers 1. Optimus and Megatron. But yeah, I mean, they're fun. They're cheap. $7.88 a piece for a 2-pack. Yo, that's a good price. I heard people saying that they were $10, which I know $8 isn't much different. But technically two nice little figures, I'd say $7.88 or $8. It's worth it. I mean, hopefully the tariffs don't mess that up, but whatever. We're not gonna talk about politics. We're here to talk about Transformers. You know, stuff that actually matters to society. You know, Transformers. That's a little kitty cat. But yeah, that's honestly all I gotta say about them. They're cool. If you get a chance, get them. Why not? They're cheap. But yeah, that's all.